So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another FPL video, and in this video I'm going to be ranking all defenders from all different price ranges, all the way from 4 million to 6 million and above. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to drop a like and comment down below what video you want to see next, and let's get into it. And before we actually start, I want to just explain the rules a little bit here. We're going to have 10 players in each price point, and we're going to be ranking them by S tier, meaning great option, A tier, meaning good option, B tier, meaning decent option, and C being an avoid pick. All stats that are displayed are per 90 minutes from the 25-26 season. So we're showing defensive contributions, clean sheets, expected goals, expected assists, and goal conceded. We also have, and the little asterisks on the stats of some players you'll see are there just to show that last season they weren't in the Premier League, they were outside of the Premier League. So yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, we have O'Shea and Van Ayvik as our two S tier options. So yeah, this is not fully like, you could put Thomas instead of O'Shea because he's a great option. So you could switch around the A tier and S tier a couple of players, but I think these two are just probably the best overall. O'Shea had 8.7 defensive contributions per 90 last season, which was in the championship. So in the Premier League, he's expected to have more defensive work. That'd be a great DEFCON option. And then Van Ayvik plays Arsenal away in his first game, so that would be one I wouldn't go for at all. But then in Gameweek 2, he plays Hull, which is the worst out of the promoted teams, and they're playing at home. He's a set piece taker as well, so he can really benefit from that. He didn't have too much DEFCON last season, 6.4, but they were the best team in the championship, so I expect that to go up as well. Don't know if it's going to get to 10, probably will. But yeah, he had decent expected assists per 90, 0.14, so you can expect a little bit of attacking return from him compared to O'Shea. And then we have Diop, another Ipswich player. Last season he played at Fulham, so that's why his stats don't have an asterisk. So his stats are a bit worse if you look at him compared to Thomas, and you might be asking, why is he higher than Thomas? He's not really higher, they're in the same tier. He just played in the Prem with Fulham. It was harder, obviously. But yeah, pretty solid option regardless. Then we have Bobby Thomas, 8.5 DEFCON for him. Very solid stats, and once again, same as every Coventry player, Gameweek 2 is a great opportunity to get some points out of these players. So I would go for either Thomas or Van Ayvik. I don't think I would get both. I think Van Ayvik is the slightly better option. Maybe he doesn't have as much DEFCON, but he does have the set pieces, and he does have a little more attacking threat assist-wise. We have Davis, another Ipswich player. His DEFCON was pretty bad last season, 4.3 only. And all around, he had the best expected assists out of anyone in the top. I think that's why we got him in. Set piece taker, decent expected assist. He's more of an attacking threat option. Then we move to the decent options. We have Hughes for Hull. He had 11.8 DEFCON per 90, which is incredible. So I expect that to go up. He could be getting many DEFCON points, especially maybe versus Coventry. He might get good DEFCON. I don't expect him to keep a clean sheet though. But yeah, you could take him as a differential option out of these 4 million defenders. Then Egan, another Hull player, 10 DEFCON per 90. So yeah, these two Hull players are just kind of DEFCON beasts, so that's the only reason I don't really get them. Then move to the C tier. Here's just players that there's no point of going for. Masuaku and O'Neill, two Sunderland players that didn't get many minutes last season, and I expect the same this season around. They're going to be rotation risks. And then we have a player like Soler that's just unavailable and had like 30 minutes last season, which you shouldn't go for. The C tier is just there for players that are obvious not to go for. There wasn't really anyone else that's starting that's obvious and you shouldn't go for in the 4 million tier, so I just put these players. So let's move up to the next price category. So moving on to the 4.5 million options. Here we step up things and we get a couple of solid options. So we're going to start up with our S tier once again. So in the top options we have Luke Shaw and Ayer, I'm not sure how we pronounce it. I think it's Ayer or something. And yeah, those are the two people I class in S tier. So Luke Shaw just has amazing fixtures. Last season he started, I'm pretty sure all, if not almost all games that Man United had. His DEFCON is not excellent, 6.2. I expect him to get a clean sheet in both, I think, hopefully. Then Ayer doesn't have the best two opening fixtures, but then he has Sunderland home. But he could get DEFCON. He does have 9.4 per 90, which is amazing. So I expect him to get DEFCON in that game and in all of his first four games. So yeah, I think for 4.5 mil, those are the two top options. Ayer is the top DEFCON option out of these 10 players on the list, so that's why I put him that high. Then we move to another Brentford player. Coyote is the first in A tier. His defcon is worse than Ayer. But overall, he's just pretty reliable. And if they can get a clean sheet, he's just an enabler. He's a little bit better attacking than Ayer. He has double the amount of expected assists. Debatably, you could put him in B as well, but I expect him to be pretty decent this season, so I put him in A. And the other player in A is Mykolenko of Everton. He had 0.07 expected assists per 90, so more than Ayer and Shaw. I think he fits in the A tier pretty well. Now going into B tier, here are all the decent options. Some of these could sneak in good options. It's kind of personal preference. I mean, yeah, a couple of them are close to being A tier. So yeah, the first option we have is Kadioglu of Brighton. First two fixtures aren't great, but then Leeds, Coventry, pretty solid Gameweek 3 and Gameweek 4 fixtures. On average, he has 5 defcon, so the lowest out of the players we've seen. He has the highest expected goals out of the first 5 players and the highest expected assists, so he's a little bit more of an attacking threat. And yeah, not much to say about him. He's a decent option. Don't really have much to talk about. We have Aina of Nottingham Forest, a lot more defcon, 7.3, but he is an attacking. He's decently attacking as well. Starting with Leeds at home, decent fixture. Liverpool away is hard, and I think game week 2 to 4 he has pretty hard fixtures depending on how Tottenham start. But then Coventry and Crystal Palace, so he has 3 good fixtures out of the 6. And then we have Robinson of Fulham. He had a pretty decent World Cup in my opinion. He starts with Chelsea, which is pretty bad, but then Sunderland, Crystal Palace, 2 very solid fixtures, especially for defcon, and coming from someone with 8.1 defcon per 90, I expect him to hit defcon in both those games. And he has the second highest expected assists as well, so he's an attacking option. He's an all-around great option, great defcon, and good potential for attacking threat. Rodon of Leeds, another defcon monster, 8.3. Starts off with pretty neutral fixtures. Brighton away, you could say that one is a hard one. Newcastle at home, Crystal Palace, and then Arsenal. You could consider 2 of these fixtures hard, like Brentford and Brighton. But I think Nottingham Forest is pretty solid, and Newcastle is also pretty solid. And I think he's going to achieve defcon in both. His expected assists aren't great, but he does have a little bit of goal threat at 0.04. And moving to Mitchell of Crystal Palace, someone with 6.8 defcon, so not the worst, but not the best either. Decent goal threat again, same as Rodon, and 0.07 expected assists per 90. Everton, Man City, first 2 fixtures, not excellent. Then Fulham away, Ipswich at home, 2 great fixtures, I would say, for any Crystal Palace players in general. And then last on the list is Hato. He has rotation risk. If he actually starts, I think he's a pretty solid pick. I would say he's maybe even better pick than Aina. It all depends if he starts. He had 7.8 defcon per 90. He didn't really play that many games, so take that with a pinch of salt. He's also a decent attacking threat. I mean, expected assists more than Rodon, same as Aina. So that's it for the 4.5 million options. Let's go to the 5 million options. Now we head to the 5 million options. Here there's so many great options, and that's why there's a huge A tier. But yeah, let's just get into the first option. Maguire is our number 1 top option for 5 million, mainly because he has great opening fixtures. His first 2, even 3 are really solid. He averaged 8.2 defensive contributions per 90, so he might achieve defcon, but mainly you're getting him for the clean sheets. I expect him to get pretty decent clean sheets here and maybe be a set piece threat. And now with Casemiro out of the club, Maguire is a great threat from those corners, and you could even get a goal from him. The second in S tier is Nico Williams. You can probably switch him out for Canvo, but I'm not sure. He starts up with Leeds at home, which is a decent fixture. I put it on green, but I think it's more of a neutral fixture, to be honest. Leeds has been pretty good. In preseason, they beat Liverpool, and overall, they seem like they're going pretty strong. So we'll have to see. Mainly, we're just betting on Glasner utilizing Nico Williams like he utilized Munoz, so more of an attacking threat. He averaged 0.11 expected assists per 90, which is the highest out of this list, and now with Oliver Glasner that might go up. That's why people are betting on Nico Williams to do well. So yeah, I would say maybe he actually goes into A tier and Maguire's the only S tier, but I'm just hoping that he gets good attacking threat. Next up we have Canvo, like I said, of Crystal Palace. First 2 fixtures aren't ideal, but then Fulham, Ipswich, very solid. Leeds away, not great, but not bad either. In Nottingham Forest at home, he averaged 11.3 defensive contributions per 90 last season. He achieved defcon a lot. He's a very solid option. Then we have Thiago of Newcastle. Newcastle currently going through an interesting time. Their manager Eddie Howe has left, but many people are saying, I've seen Newcastle fans saying that that's a very positive thing. And with a new manager from Saudi League, I expect them to actually do better than people are saying. People are really underrating them. I think they could do a decent job. I mean, I don't think they're going to be too solid, but I expect them to be better than last season. As long as Joe Ellington doesn't leave. Bruno Guimaraes is probably going to leave, but we'll see. Thiago is just a solid option, 8.9 defensive contributions per 90, and he's a goal threat. He has the highest XG. He has the second highest XG out of this list. Then we have Richards, another Crystal Palace player, 10 defensive contributions per 90, so perfect for that DEFCON. And he's just a little bit worse than Canvo in my opinion, but they're pretty similar level. I think just target them in Gameweek 3 and 4 and you should be good. Then we have Ballard from Sunderland, 3 pretty decent opening fixtures, 2 great opening fixtures I would say. 11 defensive contributions per 90. He also has pretty decent XG, 0.10 per 90. So he's like, I think the third or fourth best option out of this list for goal threat as well. So he's a very solid pick, I would say. And we have Vuskovic, another very solid pick. Last season he did play in the Bundesliga, so his stats should be taken with pinch of salt. 12.5 defensive contributions per 90. I think that's the highest out of any defender in this whole tier list video. It's absolutely insane. So I expect him to achieve DEFCON pretty frequently as long as he starts consistently. That's the only thing we're really not sure about. And he also has great goal threat. He has the highest out of anyone on this list. Keep in mind, it was in the Bundesliga, but still, great goal threat, great DEFCON. He's a great pick. We just have to see how he's going to do in the Premier League. And also, he just has 2 hard fixtures to start with. That's why I didn't have him higher on the list. Then we have Muharemovic of Leeds. Played in the Serie A last season. 10.9 defensive contributions per 90. Another DEFCON option. Not much to say about him. He has pretty neutral fixtures to start. You could go for him, but he's not my top option. Then moving on to B tier, we have Van Heck, 8.9 defensive contributions per 90. He's pretty solid. I just wouldn't say he's top tier. And same for Jacket of Liverpool. Played in the Ligue 1 last season, was injured for most, I think for the second half of the season. 8.2 defensive contributions per 90. And again, overall, he's just an alright pick. Same as Van Heck. I expect Tottenham to be a little better defensively this season. But yeah, I can't really guarantee much. You could go for him. He's just an alright option. I think just better for his price. Now moving on to the 5.5. This is my favorite price range this season. It has some great options. And yeah, let's get into the first one. Calafiori is my top pick. Calafiori and Mosquera are the 2 S tiers I've picked. The order can be whatever. For me, I put Calafiori on top because he has a little bit more goal threat. His DEFCON isn't great. If you're going for a DEFCON defender, yeah, 5.4 per 90, pretty awful. But his XG is 0.18, the highest that we've seen. And on average, he conceded 0.4 goals per 90. Which is excellent. So he has the lowest on the list. So you're kind of betting on him getting a clean sheet and maybe a goal contribution. But then if you don't want that and you want to go for straight up DEFCON, you can go for Mosquera, 8.5 defensive contributions per 90. So he didn't achieve that 10 always, which is what you need to get DEFCON in FPL, but still pretty solid. You can expect the clean sheet as well in a couple of those fixtures that he has. Then moving on to A tier, we have Gvardiol, top of the list. He seems like he's going to be a starter for Man City. We're not 100% sure yet, but not too many minutes last season. 6.8 defensive contributions per 90, better than Calafiori, but still not amazing. He's not really a DEFCON option. He's just a good price range to go to enter that Man City defense. He has decent goal threat, second highest on the list, and he concedes 0.8 goals on average per 90. So again, you can expect maybe a couple clean sheets. Pedro Porro, after a great World Cup campaign, I've put him pretty high on the list. 7 defensive contributions per 90, again, not a DEFCON option. But I do see him as an attacking option, and I think De Zerbi might understand that and utilize him. He's going to be the #1 starter for sure. Expected assist, 0.14, the second highest on this list. And after a great World Cup, his confidence should be up. I expect him to do pretty decent. Then we have Branthwaite, an Everton defender. I had to put an Everton defender, especially at this price range. He's very, very solid. 8.8 defensive contributions per 90. Yeah, not much to say here. You're just hoping you get DEFCON from him. Collins of Brentford, another DEFCON option, the highest on this list, 9.6 average defensive contributions per 90. So yeah, those are just 2 DEFCON options. Not much to say about them. Kirkes of Liverpool is the last on A tier. I put him last because there's a couple of question marks. Many people are saying he's going to be utilized like he was utilized in Bournemouth under Iraola now that he went to Liverpool. If he does, he's going to be a good attacking threat. In the friendly versus Leeds, I think he got an assist, which is good signs. So yeah, you can bet on that. You can risk it and go for him. Either him or Frimpong. I think he's better than Frimpong realistically. But yeah, he's definitely not a DEFCON option. And in B tier, we have Palestra and Reece James, 2 Chelsea players, 2 rotation risk players. James off the World Cup, he always has his injuries. He's always going to be a rotation risk. Palestra, new to the club. He's shown a couple of good moments in preseason, but his DEFCON is absolutely awful in the Serie A, 3.5. Terrible, but he has good attacking threat, the 3rd highest out of anyone on this list. So if you want to go for a risky one, Palestra is a differential you should go for, but I don't know, we need to wait and see how he starts the season. And then we have Hincapié in C tier. He's not actually C tier option, he's probably in the B to A tier, but with rotation risk, I'm not sure if he's really going to start. There's different options for the Arsenal defense. Calafiori, Mosquera, Gabriel, and Timber's probably most likely. Timber has injury concerns, so it might be Ben White. Hincapié, I don't know if he's going to play. He probably will, but again, there's rotation risk with him. Now for the 6 million plus options, here we have the final tier list of the video, and we're going to start up with our 2 top options, Gabriel and Virgil. Gabriel is the most expensive defender this season, and it's obviously expected. He has 0.6 goals conceded per 90, the best out of anyone. Absolute insane stat. He's probably going to get you a couple of clean sheets. He has 9 defensive contributions per 90, so he does achieve DEFCON a couple of times. He has goal threat, 0.10. He's just the top option. The only problem is his price. He is the top defender after all. And then Virgil for 6.5. We know how good Virgil is. More defensive contributions than Gabriel per 90. Same goal threat as him, he just concedes more on average. But he has great opening fixtures, and I expect him to get a couple of clean sheets and some DEFCON. Moving to A tier, and speaking of DEFCON, Tarkowski of Everton with 10.2 defensive contributions per 90. His price increased to 6 million. If he wasn't 6 million, he was 5.5. He would have been for sure on S tier. 6 million is a bit steep, and he has great Game Week 5 and Game Week 6 fixtures. Now moving to our Man City assets, 3 in a row, O'Reilly, Gay, and Mateus Nunes. All of them are not really the top tier DEFCON options. Gay is, I would say, the other ones aren't really. But O'Reilly and Gay have great attacking threat as well. O'Reilly at 0.20 XG per 90 and 0.09 expected assists per 90. And Gay at 0.12 and 0.07. So they both have pretty solid attacking threat and some decent fixtures after Bournemouth at home, which is a hard fixture, but I expect them to do well there. Crystal Palace and Coventry are very solid fixtures. And Mateus Nunes is the last out of the 3 because he's the same price as Gay, but I think he offers less. He offers less DEFCON, he offers less goal threat, but he does offer the same assist threat. But yeah, out of the Man City options, I would say he's the worst. He's just a differential pick, let's say. In B tier, we have Timber, huge rotation risk and injury risk. He's currently injured. He's going to come back, I'm pretty sure, for the first game of the season, but I don't expect him to get more than 60 minutes. He's also at 6.5, so if you have a player like that at that price that has that risk of being injured or getting subbed out early, I would say avoid him. His DEFCON isn't that solid either. He's just, there for the clean sheets and also the XG, 0.17. Very, very solid numbers. Second highest out of this list. And moving on to C tier, we have Senesi of Tottenham. Last season, an excellent DEFCON machine, 11.4 per 90. 0.13 expected assists as well, but in a new system, moving away from Iraola's system. First of all, I expect him to be a rotational player. I don't think he's going to be a starter. I think Van Heck and Van de Ven will be the starters. So that's the first problem. And he's at 6 million, and he's just not going to have as much DEFCON, I think, in this Tottenham system. And same for Lacroix, coming from a deep block system at Crystal Palace, averaging 11 defensive contributions per 90. I think in a possessional system like Xabi Alonso's, I think it's going to just drop naturally. You can just go for a cheaper Chelsea defender if you really want to go into the Chelsea defense. And then last on the list, we have Saliba. He's just injured for a couple of months. That's why I had to put him there. If he wasn't injured, he'd definitely be in A tier or even more. Since he's unavailable, we put him in C tier. And that was the tier list, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be making more of these. It took me a lot of time to make this, gather the stats. So I would appreciate a like and a comment on what I could have done better, what I missed out on. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys in the next one.